We're just getting set up. Just letting the chat know.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm gonna copy that. Put it back on the home.
I might need a BRB for a second and then get myself some water.
So you're gonna shut down?
Sure.
Mailbot.
Error.
By the way, we are getting ready. Clay just looks like he's playing a video game, but it's actually a loop. It's not even Clay. It's not real.
You're not real.
Can these chat rules stop popping up every 5 seconds? Chat rules? I don't know which ones you mean, Kaiba. Welcome, by the way. It's been a while.
I don't think this is it. Okay, I'm gonna pause this.
Yeah, we don't see any of the chat rules that you're talking about. Unless they're coming from somewhere else that I don't know about.
You're a chat rule.
I'm not seeing anything. And I'm a mod, so.
Been working, my dude. Cool.
Nice.
We've been checking out your stuff as you work along. I don't think you've had a upload in a bit though. I've been trying to get people from Fiverr to do 3 quick alpha channel 3D animations of text. But everyone on Fiverr seems to have like a template that they go off of, and it's like so obvious for like repeats. Like obviously that's the easiest way to start a business is just create a template and just keep on doing it. But when it's like creative like that, you're literally using the same template with just different font and different colors every single time, and you see the same one. It's like I just want to have some good looking 3D text for our new segments, not something that you just pop into a script somewhere and it just pops out a freaking video.
You're a template.
Okay. Well, this template needs coffee.
Sick bird.
Got him.
Dropping my crystal over here.
Oh yeah. So this week on Game News, we have quite a bit of releases. We have 2 rumored controls, and we have, I think, 5 news articles.
Yeah, it wasn't the biggest news week.
It's 5, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the biggest news week.
I think we should I don't know, chat. You all tell us. I think we should reduce the new releases to 3.
Yeah, you said that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, you're the one doing the show notes.
Yeah. Just because you said it doesn't mean I'm listening to you.
That's usually in the memo, sir.
But what if... But for instance, this is not a big news week. We have to pad time, bro.
And that's understandable.
Well, and here's another thing. If he doesn't put up the news, we can't decide what really needs to be cut.
All right. Well, first of all, Sonic Colors Ultimate should be cut automatically.
Got it.
I have a friend that's a big Life is Strange one.
Yeah.
So.
So Sonic, is your friend who likes Life is Strange here right now?
I can get her on real quick.
Yeah, okay then. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Warioware, Get It Together. I don't know. Did anybody ever really love a Warioware game? I mean, they're fun. I'm not saying they're not, but they were like, man, I can't wait for another Warioware. No. Yeah. So I don't know. And then Tales of Arise. I don't even know what that is. I think I'm gonna.
If we're gonna cut one of those games, cut Sonic.
Why?
Because it's 3D Sonic, and who cares?
Sure.
But the rest we should leave it.
Yeah, like the only thing about Sonic Colors that is the reason why it's there is one, it's within this week's release, right? And then the second is because it's Sonic and it's a big name back in the day.
Yeah. Hold on, BRB.
Okay. To continue on from yesterday, Joel. Yeah, I need to have that program up every time just to even have Epic and Spotify to work.
Hey, Kaiba followed us. By the way, if you thought you were following us before, we had to purge our entire follower list because of stupid bots. So if you haven't followed us and you're like, why the hell didn't I get a notification or I keep missing you guys? That's why, because we've had to purge all of our followers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why,
Joe.
Kaiba.
We did it.
Yep. I did it because the bots did it.
Bots ruin everything.
I mean, don't they always?
Hey,
Yes.
Clay. I like your
they'll leave a
collection
break.
back there, G.
Yeah, it's awesome, right?
Yep.
Very
got a whole
Only do
bunch
I
of-
have one.
minimalistic.
2 walls.
Oh, shit!
It's so
Oh.
blended it looks like one.
Man, now if only he
Is
could
this
get
your saying
4
that you're
walls.
saving money?
Yeah, I mean, how am I going to buy 400 more copies of GTA Vice City if I don't have any money? No. Come
So
on.
you admit it, sir. You even
That's-
lied on Discord.
That's called economics, you know?
Joe,
Far
you look like
Cry,
you're falling asleep.
Far Cry 6 on PC requires an RTX 3080 for 4K 30 frames per second with ray tracing.
Woo.
Ugh. That is a
And
lot
then-
of spec.
And then on top of it, you have to play Far Cry 6.
Yeah, that's true. You would have to play that.
Oh, let's see here.
Yeah, send me your ideas for your stingers. I can probably pump something out. Oh my.
Oh,
Oh
my.
my.
Oh, pump something out, will you?
Mm. Mm.
Will it be as juicy as I imagine it?
Mm.
Yes. Nice little crossfade at the end.
Hmm.
Or will
Hey, man,
you
you
just
gotta-
do it suddenly and cut it?
No, man, you got to star wipe everything.
Ugh.
Yeah, you gotta Star Wars side wipe it.
Ba-
She brought me coffee. She's the best. Huh?
She brought
That's my
me-
wife.
Wow.
That's my wife. She allows me to do this. I get to do this stuff.
A wife that supports.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a keeper.
Well, I give her the unlimited card, so yeah. It's a tit for tat transaction.
There's gotta be a benefit on both sides.
Yep. Oh man. So, do we feel bad for our China counterparts right now? We're just
yeah.
talking about some of the articles that we're going to go through.
Oh,
the
man.
show starts at 12 in about 5 minutes. As a matter of fact, you know what?
4.
Take the countdown. Here you go. Enjoy.
Yes.
We're still on screen, but now you have a countdown.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be a little behind, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't need. So, another follower right now. I'm going to butcher this up. Unless it's a bot, then I won't feel bad. But
Let me see.
Uisa123 followed us.
You Suisa?
Uisa.
You Suisa. I'm gonna say you Suisa.
Oh well, it's not a bot.
You
Shit.
spoke.
They actually
So
said
I think-
hi.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless the bot is programmed to be like, say hi first, show some emotion.
Error.
Hey, that's my job.
Yeah. I forgot to log in at Twitch. Damn it. What's my 2-factor?
Meet more.
Looking through the files that don't exist. Oh
Yeah.
shit! There is prawn. Joe, you have prawn.
Yeah.
Do you want me to open?
Please don't open them. Opening 24,000 videos.
Who was that yesterday in our Discord saying they needed like 8 terabytes of storage or something?
It's Boxer Buddha or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were all like, I
yeah.
need. Well, how many did he say? 8 terabyte freaking
Yes.
hard drives. And then I mentioned like for all his
1020,
prawns.
like what? 1,025 for all that?
And it's like, no, it's not
Really?
fraud. And it's like, yeah, that's a whole lot of not fraud.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That's a lot of movies, shows. That's a lot of stuff. But
For 12-year-olds,
we
okay.
know the majority of that disk space in every category. You ever remember seeing?
You almost want to watch
seeing-
Grandma's Boy? You should always want to watch Grandma's Boy. By the way.
No.
Raven.
I think it was Ted. Or was it Ted? No. It was
There's
Seth
always a Ted.
MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane. I think it was.
Ted was the Marky Mark and Seth MacFarlane was the bear.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think in Ted
Which-
2, there was a scene where the bear was going through the dude's laptop. He's all like,
Mhm.
"Why is your computer filled with porn? It's
Oh,
like this." He's all like, "Dude, you have
I've never
folders
seen
for every
Ted.
category."
The people keep using that audio in TikTok a lot.
Yeah.
I've never seen Ted. I hear it's
Right.
It's
funny.
hilarious. You'd love it. Yeah.
I'm not for those kind of movies or shows.
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't tickle your fancy there.
Sorry, Your Highness.
Excuse me, princess.
Excuse me, princess.
All right. We're almost
Maybe I'll
ready.
hang out with you two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Taking fart jokes all day long.
Dread.
Great.
You're welcome.
You've enriched your life so many ways.
All right. I believe we have 1 minute left, but
Yep.
welcome everyone who joined the stream, who's watching, who's on the chats, who's chatting. By the way, by all means, leave comments for us. We respond to most of them unless they're stupid. So if we don't respond to them, you know, it's stupid.
We welcome anybody to join our Discord and tell us how great we are.
Yeah. But if you don't, we understand. We get your intention. We know we're great.
I do
That's
know
how it
about
works.
that. Because it's good to bite us
No.
all in the ass.
Mel's like twitching the eyes, like, oh, malfunction.
That's exactly how it works.
Can't fit in this ego room. All right. Ready to go? I think it's 12.
It is.
I think we can sacrifice those 31 minutes or 31 seconds, 30 seconds, 29 seconds.
I'm about to say.
All
Like, where's
right.
this 30 minutes coming from?
It's coming from the countdown. Of course, you'd be able to see that if I actually put you guys in there.
I was like, you're not showing the little screen.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
You idiot.
Where
I've
is
spoiled
the
you
intro?
people.
Yeah. Oh, you people now.
You
Oh.
people.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I said it.
You went that far, huh?
Oh.
You white people.
Mel, you gonna take that?
Wait.
You gonna take that, Mel?
I'm a virtual person here. That's on you.
No, he's clearly singling out the people.
He's absolutely right.
I'm virtual, so I don't exist.
That's right. And maybe that's the problem.
All right. Here we go. Let me know.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yes.
We've got Sanic on there.
Sanic. All right, y'all ready? All right, let's
Last
start
intro.
this.
It's that time for our weekly Game News Live podcast. Be a part of the show
So
by
let's
joining us.
just have a conversation where it's hard for them to like actually understand because the intro's playing in front of it.
And then there's music over us right now.
And then so you really can't enjoy the intro with the quality of the intro.
on the stream.
Yeah,
I almost hate that. It's almost like when people talk
Point of
over you.
this again.
And then like after it's over, and then we just end it with like, and those are the conditions of where I'm going to give all of my money.
I
If somebody can do those two things, they get all my money.
see. All of you.
Just like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
if
So
you
I
weren't
hope
paying
everybody was
attention-
paying attention during the intro when I specifically laid out how easy it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave out passwords and everything. I hope you all were listening.
I know.
Yes.
Like accounts,
I'm
account
being
numbers.
tortured over here.
Yeah.
account numbers, secret codes, everything.
Yep.
The location of
all
the map.
the passwords and nerd junkies. I had to give it to him. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything.
All right. Welcome, everyone. It's your weekly Game News Live. We're here every Saturday, about to give you the game news that happened last week and what's going on right now. We're going to start off with some game releases, but first, how about we introduce Clay and Mel. Clay, how you doing?
Hi. Hey, what's
Same.
up?
Same Clay from last week. Surprisingly.
Nothing changes, bro. All right.
Nothing.
Like I'm.
Including his backdrop. It never changes.
Yes. Never does.
As a matter of fact, I do
one could
like
say-
that off eggshell.
One could make the point and say these like blinds that are being cast here are different every week because of weather patterns
Yeah.
and position of sun and everything like that. So, suck it. All right.
I would argue that
Mm-hmm.
the chat should dictate what happens with your background.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say a multiple choice of, is it okay the way it is now? You know, just leave it as it is. Don't say anything. Or
How about this? Yeah.
how about you put up your famous collection, or at least a part of your famous collection back there?
I gave you ideas, sir.
Because Clay, I don't know if anybody knows this out there on chats. I'm pretty sure y'all been watching for the decades that we've been on stream since way before.
We've actually been doing this before Twitch. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert.
So, hey, what's up, Robert? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Robert.
I don't know if anybody knows this about Clay, besides the fact that he's an asshole.
Your
Clay
face is an asshole.
Clay has one of the most impressive video game collections, and the sad part is that it sits in boxes,
Yes.
and nobody ever gets to know this because when you walk into his house, it's pristine, clean, almost as if there's, no one even living there. It's like a model home. But yet, in the crevices of some storage space somewhere, Clay has a Commodore 64 just sitting there.
His collection
Not
can't
even
even
being
be
viewed and be like-
enjoyed.
Yeah, bask in the ambience of my Commodore 64, and it's just sitting there. But yet, Clay has an entire room dedicated for God knows what. And what? Do you work out in that room, or
I do.
is it a desk? Is there a desk?
No, there's no desk.
Clay works out. But
When I downsized, Mel, if you remember, and this is, bring up the ghost pepper video. I was like 60 pounds heavier back then.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about a
I have a few of
completely
those
different
videos.
downsizing than that. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, I was way bigger back then. So
Yeah.
yes, I actually do exercise.
Okay. Well, I'm just
Alright,
saying, like,
fine.
the chat should really, like, encourage Clay to put something up there.
How about this?
All right.
instead of this weekly thing where you whine and cry and stuff like that, you take my video feed, you cut me out, you put a little background, and then you just put whatever the hell you want back.
You mean like another job?
Yeah.
Another thing I have to do post-production?
Clay, am I going to have to just make you a VTuber here?
There's a problem with that.
Yeah, he doesn't have processing power. He can't even run Phasmophobia.
One, I don't have a machine that could probably do that correctly.
Hold on.
Two, then I won't be able to see my face, and that's my favorite part.
Okay, all right. Umbras has a good
iPhone.
Umbras has a good argument here. How about instead of awesomeness like this back here, or VTuber Mel, you just put up 2 posters on each corner of that wall of things that you like. I mean, they're posters.
Posters. I just even said that earlier. One poster at least.
One poster.
I'm just gonna put up the cat hang in there.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, you set a poster. There you go.
It's just a cat and some sort of like corporate inspirational
hang in there, guys.
And some corporate inspirational like bullcrap image. Yeah. Teamwork.
Nope. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, right.
Knowing Clay will just be crooked just enough. And it's just like that OCD is like,
it's gonna be
damn it,
like 90 or like 2 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, damn it, put the grumpy old cat pics. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
I'll take it.
But all right. Let's get started with the game news. Mel, do you have anything to update on us? What have you been playing? What have you been doing? Oh, we finally fixed. Well, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Mel had a network issue a little like yesterday, where for some reason she's not able to get into Epic Game Launcher. It gives her some sort of error or something like that.
I've complained about it for close to a year.
Yeah,
on this
she's
show.
been having this problem where she's not able to even take part of the free games unless she jumps on some other computer and put them on her list. But yesterday, I remoted into her machine, realized what the problem was, and then left, and everything was working, except for now. Is it still happening, Mel?
Yes, I still have to have that.
Now she has to have an application open for her to be able to use Epic, and I don't even know how that makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah. So at least now you're able to partake into Epic free games that are coming out every week. But unfortunately, now she requires another application to be able to connect with that.
As long as it works.
I honestly think, Mel, at this point, we need a young priest and an old priest, and we just need to it's gone. We need to wipe it, start over. This is screwed.
I mean, I'm getting into witchy stuff right now, so maybe I might do like some sage burning or something.
I'll just put this out there as the resident console gamer here of the group. I will just say that kind of thing happens all the time.
Shut up, Clay. It is also a working device, okay? It's not just a gaming device.
Clay.
Shut
game.
Up. All right. By the way, everyone, if you don't know by now, we are having
#PCMR. Lol.
Lol. Yeah. We are doing a giveaway at 100 followers. One lucky follower out of those 100 followers on Twitch will receive a $25 gift card, either digitally or physically, depending on how you need it or how you want it, whatever. But yeah, if you just follow us on Twitch, help us reach 100 followers.
Physically, that makes no sense. Why would we do that?
I don't know.
We're not going to go to like 7-Eleven.
Give you a code for you
and
to put
buy a card and mail it to them. No,
you know what? Gonna be like, you know what?
Yo, here's your code. Eat it. All right.
I mean, yeah, but some people might want to be like, oh, I got this from the Nerd Junkies. Not that they would ever do it, but just saying, it's nice.
They can like frame that crap, put it on the wall, you know?
I mean, I would.
We're gonna like autograph it, you know?
I mean, yeah.
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 He would get and mail to both you and I, Clay. Let's be honest. And get us to sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would because I got nothing on my wall. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on.
Is it because you live on a pirate ship and you don't hang things on pirate ships?
Yar.
Yar. Yar.
All right, let's go on to game releases. This week on game releases, we got your favorite little blue running man. Sonic Colors Ultimate is releasing on September 7, 2021. I believe this is going for all major consoles, or is it just... Nope,
Yeah,
it's all major consoles and PC, so you'll even get it on Switch. Hey, what's up, Yogensha?
Hey, Yogensha.
What up, Yogensha?
Apparently, there's two different versions, the Digital Deluxe and the Standard. Looks like the differences that you'll get from the Digital Deluxe versus the Standard is the Ultimate Music Pack, which is cute. Metallic Pack, which I assume is the physical thing. Oh, customize Sonic and stand out with exclusive gold and silver gloves and shoes. Ooh, yeah,
Totally worth $20.
That's worth my extra money. And then the
Totally worth the money.
movie player icons, Sonic movie themed player icons. You have to really love Sonic.
Yeah.
I will say, okay, first of all, like Sonic Colors, I didn't even like the original one when it came out. 3D Sonic games, thumbs down.
Would you say that this is a remake or is this a brand new game?
This is a remake. So like Sonic Colors was a like back in the 360 days, like 360, PS3, Wii, stuff like that.
I remember them now.
That was the game, and then this is like the re-release, the ultimate version of it.
Right.
I'm in the 2D Sonic camp myself. Yeah. Like I think 2D Sonic is where he should stay. Like 3D Sonic.
Do you think that opinion stands from just the nostalgia of it, or is it because no 3D game has really done Sonic any justice since then?
That right there. I don't think any 3D Sonic games are good at all. 2D is where he should live forever. Not every series makes the jump to 3D, right? You know, like they try, like Castlevania tried multiple times, and they were not good. You know, like these, like Castlevania should stay in 2D realm, just like Sonic. And I know some pretty big Sonic fans, like big Sonic nerds out there.
Yeah.
And even they're like, yeah, we play the 3D ones because otherwise we don't get new Sonic games. But
right.
Even they don't really like them.
Right.
Like it isn't even like a nostalgia thing. It's like, no, these games are meant to be 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it makes sense because even for me, like I like Twitch shooters and that's really fast paced, and some people get sick off of first person shooters, right? Like just the motion. But whenever I play a Sonic 3D game, I almost feel like even I feel a little like this is not that it's too fast, that
It's
I get disoriented. Yeah, that's exactly the word. Like I don't feel like maybe I'm going the right direction. Like I know a lot of these are on rails, but still at the same time, it's just like, whoa, you're doing way too much and it's not coming across the gamer as something that's progressive. I just feel like I'm just going everywhere at once.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't get the satisfaction of finishing a level. I'm just like, what did I just miss? Was there something out there that I should have just pressed left on or what? But that's usually how I feel about 3D games. Mel?
What I was going to say is basically, I think the reason why they're releasing this is basically for those who basically started in this era, which in 360 days, there were some kids during that time. So that might have been their first Sonic, and that might have been what they remember Sonic most.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, Sonic Colors coming out on September 7th. We're already 3 days away, so if you're into Sonic, then here's your game. Here's another Sonic game for you.
More Sonic stuff.
More Sonic.
More Sonic.
The Sonics.
All right, Mel, you're up. Life is Strange: True Colors. Have you played this game?
I have not, but I have my best friend Scully Girl. Basically, she loves the series to death, and she's excited for this.
Yeah.
So.
Life is Strange has been coming out for a few years now. This is, I think, the 5th game.
I believe.
You can usually get, like, if anybody wants to check out Life is Strange, you can usually get the first one on sale all the time. Or even free. Sometimes it's just free. They're like, hey, play the first one, it's free. And then that's going to try to, like, sucker you into, you know, like, first taste is free kind of thing.
Right.
These are really heavy story drama based games. Like, think like a Telltale game, but with just more gameplay.
Oh.
So
it isn't just turn-based, like, decision making.
No,
it isn't like visual novel style like that, but like these have more like active gameplay. You walk around, you talk to people, you try to solve a mystery or something like that. But yeah, True Colors, the new one, it's all about you play this girl and she can like read people's feelings and you choose your own adventure based on stuff like that.
So would you say that these types of games are more like interactive movies?
Yes.
Kind of
I
like,
can see that. Like a Heavy Rain or something like that?
well, if you remember, I don't know how old everybody is on the chat, but remember back in the day on the DVDs, you would have like choices, right?
Yeah.
You can make choices. There was very rare DVDs that are like that would give you like a little story-based movie where you would choose. And then Netflix actually came out with the most recent one, Bandersnatch, which on Netflix's app, your controller can control the choices, and there's like a crap ton of different paths you can take.
Yeah, so what you're saying there is more of like what I would call like a Telltale game, where there's it's very heavy story, heavy like a lot of reading, a lot of that. These games do actually have more gameplay to them.
Okay.
I wouldn't go out of my way and call these like
free roaming,
exciting games. These are these kind of games are made just for the people who like heavy drama, soap opera-y kind of stuff.
Okay.
So like there is gameplay in it, but you're like, this isn't the type of game that your average gamer goes for. These are like these games get really good reviews, by the way, and these are made specifically for the subset of gamers who really like deep story.
So who do you think you mentioned that people who would like this game are usually like the drama aficionados of and they just happen to be gamers. Who do you visualize when you think of somebody who would enjoy this game?
I will say this, and I hope at some point the word gets to him. Wasabi Ice Cream likes this series, and I know he likes the series because he told me this game, and also what was that other one? Tell Me Why, I think was like another one of those.
Oh yeah.
And it's but because he lives in the camp of like the people who like Death Stranding, where it's like they appreciate a good story and experience, but they don't need a video game to be fun. Like that's the kind of camp that he lives in. Me, I play games because they're fun.
Yeah.
If it has a good story on top of it, that's great. But if it's just a walk around talking simulator, I get bored and I turn the game off. Right? Like, so this game is definitely not for me, but there is like these games make money. That's why they keep coming out.
So
there is a group of gamers that this is just for.
Yeah. So I would say this game is more or less like along the lines of heavy based story, little skills. And then the games that you enjoy are more or less skill based, along with, hey, if it comes with a great story, that's good.
Yeah, to me, gameplay is the top priority I have in video games.
Gotcha.
If the gameplay is good, it's forgivable to even have a bad story.
Right.
But
well, you can tell that they're doing something right because they definitely have a community going for them. Like I said,
these games make money.
Yeah.
Like, these sell well, they get good reviews. Like, Square Enix just kind of fell into this, and it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for anyone in the chats, if you played this game, leave a comment and let us know what you think about Life is Strange. But True Colors, it's coming out for everything, including Stadia, I believe. And Stadia's on here. All the Xbox, PS4, PCs, and Switch. So
all three of you in the world who have Stadia, you can play this next.
And then if you're on Amazon, no.
Sorry, Amazon people.
Yeah. So let us
Super
know.
Mario Brothers. I'm guessing Zero High Zero. I'm guessing maybe
up,
that's
Zero?
what you're talking about with gameplay being good, but you don't have to have a good story. Yes, Super Mario Brothers story is non-existent, right? But the gameplay's so good that you play it.
Speaking of Nintendo's IPs, let's go on to the next one. Clay, you're up with Warioware. What's this?
I am so damn excited for this game. WarioWare is a series. And if you're not a Nintendo follower, maybe you don't know that. These games started coming out back in the Game Boy Advance days. Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS. This is the first one that's on the Switch. They were also on the Wii. The one on the Wii was really good also. WarioWare games are very weird. If you ever just watch like gameplay video of them, they're called micro games. They're not even mini games. So like a mini game would be like when you're playing Mario Party and then it's like everybody's fourth turn is up and then you jump into like a button mash race kind of thing, or like something like that. Micro games are what WarioWare is all about. And these games are like 5 seconds apiece. The game just throws you into these situations where you have to see what's on the screen, figure out the point of the game, and then solve it in under 5 seconds. And it happens like at rapid fire.
I think I remember seeing a version of this on the DS. Or I think one of the games were on the DS.
Yeah, WarioWare Touched, I believe, was the one on the DS, which I love that too. There was one that came out, WarioWare Gold came out, I want to say 2 years ago. But yeah, like if you just look at these, it's like these weird ass little games, and they're really fun, and they're like, so the one on the Wii was a 4-player game where like all of you are trying to like solve the same game the fastest and stuff like that. It was a really good multiplayer game. Yeah. I'm always excited when WarioWare comes out just because it's so weird. And it's like, but as Nintendo does, it's really fun. Right. Like, because Nintendo, if anything, they do good gameplay. Yeah. Like, it's what's the story for WarioWare? He's trying to get rich because he's Wario. Right. And it's like he's trying to do something to take over something so he can get rich. Yeah. That's all you need to know. Yeah.
The only other thing that I don't understand about Wario is these returning characters, there's never any deeper story to them. It's not like you're like, what's Luigi's story or what's like Bowser's story. Like you kind of get a sense for who they are. But these returning characters on all of Warrior's game, Wario's games are, I don't know them. I don't know who they are.
These are all
they're unique
recurring
designs.
characters, and for the most part, they just have like a different theme or different music or something like that to them. In this game, supposedly they have all different abilities. So like if you pick a certain character to do your mini games with, you'll have like a certain advantage in certain type of games. There is a demo on the eShop right now for this game, so it's free. If you have a Switch, you can check it out. I have been avoiding that demo because I've already pre-ordered it. Right. Like I am ready to go. Like I buy these always when they come out. Like I'm a huge fan of the series. Yeah. Warriors, come out and play. Come out to play.
All right. So
the Warriors, amazing movie.
So $50 for this one, coming out September 10th, and you can also download a demo for it right now.
Yes, demos on the eShop right now. This is $50 on the eShop. By the way, The Warriors, not only a good movie, a good game. Rockstar Games made that. PS2, Xbox. Anybody remember that? It's pretty good.
Yeah, PS2.
Mid-2000s.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
I wouldn't say
it's not like they had a movie tie-in that happened that year, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that movie came out long before that game.
Yeah, it was like 79 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the game was like 2006 or something like that.
Yeah. That's like somebody making an Austin Powers movie now, or Austin Powers game now.
I mean, I would play that. I'm just saying.
I'd play it now. Yeah. But I'm not saying everyone would. Some of these Gen Zs are not going to understand references here.
Well,
and that movie was all about references.
Those Gen Z people need to step their game up.
I'm about
Because
to say, don't you bring me in here.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, let's go
they're
on with
all
the next
stupid, right, Mel?
one.
I'm a millennial. I know how stupid they can be, okay?
Exactly.
All right, let's go on to the next one. This
I'm
one
Warioware.
is Tales of Arise. I don't know anything about this other than it's Namco. So
and this is where again, we're putting the call out. If there is like a big JRPG nerd out there who wants to jump in and help us with things like this, it's not in any of our three wheelhouses.
yeah,
Something to note about this series. So this game has a lot of momentum behind it, and I was kind of I don't live in the JRPG world, right? So I'm like, I don't know any of this stuff. Gameplay wise, I watched some gameplay footage of this. It looks like a big open world game but the combat looks to me like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it's real-time action. So like you have like all the RPG stats like for your characters, real-time action, but you also have character swapping like through battles. So actually the gameplay is kind of right up my alley because I love a good action RPG. Something interesting about this game though, and this is again where I don't know a lot about JRPG stuff. I've heard of the Tales games in the past. Like for instance, one of them was called Tales of Symphonia, which came out like 10 something years ago, 20 years ago, maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
This is the 17th Tales game. And I was like,
They have a
holy
big
crap.
following.
Like, what? Really? And I looked it up.
This wasn't like one of those games that is made by that one developer who continues to reuse like the bucket system of naming games, where it's just like Tales of Symphonia.
Well,
then...
that's the thing. Like, they're all Tales games. So, like, every game is Tales of something. But that's how they, like, name the
refreshing
franchise.
it.
You know, it's like every game is different and they're all called Tales of something. So it is the Tales series.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I get it. I had no idea there were 17 of these. I was like, holy crap. Like, so this must be a pretty successful franchise then.
Right.
Like, but again, I don't play JRPGs. I don't know things like this. But when I read that this was number 17, I was like, that's impressive. Like, I'm going to mention that because that's actually quite impressive. Yeah.
Chemco games. Recycled
Chemco games. I went to, you know what? And Joe, I don't know if you remember this or not. We were at the Chemco booth at E3 back in like 2013 or something like that. And their bread and butter right now is JRPGs. Like that's how they do everything right now. Or JRPGs are like, I think they also make like Warriors type games, like Dynasty Warriors, but that's Koei Tecmo. But like we're at Chemco and there's like, you know, lady there, you know, not booth babe, but like sales marketing person there or something like that. And I'm like, she's like, hey, do you want to know about this game that's coming out? And I said, actually, no, because I don't play those type of games, but I have a question for you. And I was like, back in the 80s, Chemco released an NES game called Rescue the Embassy Mission. And it's, in my opinion, one of the finest NES games there is. I was like, where's that in your all's portfolio? And she was like, nobody even knows what that is. And I was like,
wow.
And I was like, no, fair enough. All right. I was like,
wait a second. So
she was only there for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Did the rep know that reference, that name, the title?
No, she had no idea.
Oh, that sucks.
I was like, all right, well, at least I tried. At least I can say I asked a Chemco rep about the future of Rescue the Embassy Mission, and she was like,
you almost have to wonder, because it's like several things could have happened there, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well that IP hasn't been used in such a long time, so it's like, is it because they don't use it and it's in the fictional vault that they keep back there, or is it because they really don't know anything except for what's actually selling this year?
I would say a little bit of both. One, it's not in their active portfolio of games that they're doing, but also at the same time, unless you played that game back in the 80s or something, like on the NES, you would know how awesome that game is. But at the same time, you're just like, that wouldn't make money.
Right.
You know, like, And I'm like, you're right. You're not wrong. I would love to see that game do something again.
True story.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. By the way, Tales of Arise is coming out for everything except the Switch. So you'll also get it on PC and all the Xboxes and PS5s, of course.
All the boxes and the PSs.
All the PSs and the boxes. All right, let's go on to the heavy hitter of game releases, which is not really a game release, but more or less like
Warioware was the heavy hitter of the game releases.
Sure, whatever. Okay. I'm just gonna sip loudly at that.
Oh, okay. Warioware was the heavy hitter, Joe.
All right.
Is that the pattern now? Like, do I need to put the last new release as like the big show?
The big one is the last one.
They should be.
Because guess what? No one sticks around for the first one. Okay?
It'll be like, hey, the new Battlefield is coming out, and Call of Duty is coming out, and ooh, surprise, a new Mario game and a Zelda game on the same day, and then the last one is going to be Vice City Remaster. What up?
I hope nothing else gets released that week.
It'll be the greatest like launch day in video game history, and it'll be like, and now for the main event, Grand Theft Auto Vice City HD Remaster, 4K edition.
Yeah. That's going to be the day. And I'm going to record that, and it's going to be glorious. All right. So, for anyone who's been waiting to get into the new world. Yes.
Into the new world.
Into the new world. The open beta is coming. So get your RTX 3090s ready to blow up, because this game's about to be released onto the masses. Funny story about that. Yeah. The controversy that there was that tied New World to blowing up GPUs was actually not New World's problem. It was actually a hardware issue on a small batch per the people who produced the GPU, that it's a small batch that had bad connections.
Mel, can your robot do air quotes?
I don't think so. I think she just she just
flaps.
Yeah. I don't think we programmed her to do air quotes.
Whatever program you're running there, you need to upgrade to this. Yeah. You know?
Look, I'm trying here, okay?
Yeah. She's kind of being developed by freaking Activision. So doesn't have the Yeah. All right.
I'm just saying.
I have nothing to do with Activision. Don't look at me.
All right, so they posted up.
They ain't paying me that money to destroy their products.
The details on the open world or the new world open beta are up now on the link that's in the chat. If you want to know more about it and you want to be part of it, go ahead and check out the link. But yeah, this is going to be one of the first huge MMOs that, I don't know,
Amazon.
It's different, right? Like you're not going back into another expansion pack. Or
yeah. So this is yeah. Do we know? Mel, I know you're the resident MMO person right now because you're crazy deep on Final Fantasy, along with a million other players in the world and stuff like that. Right, but like, do we have anybody who wants to play this?
I have actually,
or you or anything like.
I have heard a few people say that this is actually turning out to be pretty good, in my opinion. Okay. I wasn't in the closed beta or anything, but from a few people who I've seen that play Final Fantasy 14, they tried the beta out and it's very promising. It's got some aspects of older MMOs. Mm-hmm. Like you actually had to find people, and instead of having a big huge question mark over their head, you actually had to read the quest and actually look for a few of them. I think that's a thing, but they may have changed it.
So the open beta starts next week. Mm-hmm. Are you or are either of you going to try this out? Because this is PC only, and I know my laptop only had one.
I'm going to try it out.
Yep.
And the reason why I'm going to try it out is because it's been a long time since I've gone into an MMO. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but if it's new age MMO and it has some of the things that worked for previous MMOs, I'm going to definitely want to see where the direction is going for these massive multiplayer games that are out there. And not only that, but I feel like any other MMO that I try to get into now has just already has such a huge storyline or a huge learning curve that I have to learn, or a meta that isn't spoken about, but yet I have to figure it out that everybody else knows. So automatically, if I do the wrong thing, I'm a freaking noob. But if I'm doing the right thing, you're doing the thing that you were always supposed to do, but yet had to go through several wikis to figure out. Yeah, I don't feel like doing that.
I'll say this about that from what you said, Joel. Final Fantasy's community is actually pretty good about teaching people.
Yeah, like, about Sherpaing them all over the place so that way they can learn the game.
It's not very toxic.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Clay's turning into snow.
He's turning to Activision.
Mel, stop hacking Clay. There we go.
Damn it, Mel.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, MMOs have never been like a huge thing in my life except for Warcraft. So I'm definitely excited for that. But Warcraft ended up just being like a crack cocaine addiction. You know what I mean? It was just like, ooh, I gotta stop. So I don't want to get to that level, but I definitely want to get into a point where I'm playing with my friends. I have a couple of friends that I'm developing my character with, and then just go on and just be super casual. So if anybody wants to join us, make sure you join the Discord on nerdjunkies.com/Discord. When the open beta hits, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple of us that go into it together.
My question is this going to be a subscription based?
That's literally what I was going to ask, and I'm looking it up right now. According to PC Gamer, there will not be a subscription fee. You only have to do the first upfront purchase.
Oh, so it's basically a Guild Wars thing. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be Guild Wars. So yeah,
wait, do we get a Prime discount?
Maybe.
Yeah. So that's good though, because like me personally, like I don't know.
That's gonna change though. It's gonna be the upfront purchase, and then it's gonna be the expansion purchase, and then after that they're gonna go subscription, and then they're gonna have a season pass where you get all of them for any of the future ones that they develop, and then it's gonna be a monthly fee after that.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much content, right?
Yeah.
So now you have to pay for it all. I think it's always the beginning of an MMO where they're going to change up the rates of everything. But who knows? We'll see. It's Amazon, so they have enough money to support it by itself.
Yeah, but try it out. Let us know what you guys think. Like, it'll be open beta next week. I believe if you read the details on that article, they say you just have to opt into it on Steam. So like, you go to the New World page on Steam, and there's like a, hey, apply for open beta button or something like that. I haven't checked it out.
By the way, Dark Zero has a good point. You can just show the Dr. Evil GIF behind you, and then that way it'll do it for you.
Oh.
I don't even know if your program takes animated GIFs, but that makes sense.
I use OBS, so I can put it in here.
Oh, there you go. Maybe one for next time, or maybe for the end of the show.
Maybe.
Right. All right, let's go on to the next one, because now we're getting into the realm of rumor control.
Rumor control.
All right, so we got a couple leaks here. Apparently, Uncharted series the entire collection is coming to the PC. Now, PCMR fans rejoice. This is one of the prettiest games I've ever seen on a console, especially like the first one where they showed the tech demo of pants that were wet, and then all of a sudden,
dude, you know what a big deal that was too.
Yeah, that was a huge deal.
Like back in just if you're too young to remember this, or maybe you weren't a console gamer back then or something, but like PS3, when Uncharted 1 came out, and like Nathan Drake walks into the water, and then he comes out and he's only wet for how far into the water he went. Right. And you're just like, what?
Yeah, apparently
the future is now.
Yeah, apparently this is I think it was a PS3 demo, right? Because they were showing off Uncharted, and then they were showing off him walking through some river, and then and it wasn't like a cutscene situation, it was actual gameplay. And that's what set it apart, because usually with cutscenes they add a little bit more more pizzazz to it, and you don't have to render the entire thing. But the fact that the system was working, the wet system was working on gameplay, I was blown away. So
people lost it.
With that being said, of course, its natural home is where it's capable, right? Where we're capable of being able to render at 4K at 120 bajillion frames per second.
Bajillion.
Shabadawillions.
A zillion.
Yeah. So Uncharted coming to PC is one of the best ideas Sony has had, because their games, even though they look pretty, it always felt like it was chained up. Even though it ran great on those consoles, but PC gamers are just like, man, if only you would just develop this on PC, it would look amazing. Or more or less, we just, gender swap, the main characters via mods. But that's just what we do as PC gamers.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think, Clay?
I know we've talked about this a lot here. Like, I'm not a PC guy. I've beaten every Uncharted game. I love the series. I want more people to know this series. I would say the same thing as far as Sony goes with like Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I would love for you all to get your hands on this game. Just the PC only community. Like,
I actually have the entire collection on my PlayStation 4, but I've only played maybe a couple missions. But since this console, I just got I barely play my consoles at all. So at any point, if I had a chance, I would play it on my PC. Yeah. And now I have a chance.
But most of
these are awesome. Yeah.
Most of these games are being able to, you're able to play them on the PlayStation 5 at this point, right?
The PS5 plays all of them, yeah. So the Nathan Drake collection, which is just 1, 2, and 3, was actually re-released for the PS4. If you remember, like, PS3 games aren't backwards compatible unless you stream them through PlayStation Now. So you always had to have a PS3 to play these, but then they re-released 1, 2, and 3 for the PS4, and that version is backwards compatible on the PS5. But yeah, Uncharted, if you've never played them before, if you only heard about them, whatever, think Tomb Raider meets Gears of War. So you have like Tomb Raider, he's swinging from things, he's climbing stuff, he's solving puzzles. They all have to do with like a very Tomb Raider-y type story about history and stuff like that. But in between solving puzzles, you're doing cover-based shooting. So it's very Gears of War also. Like, you stick to cover, he's shooting over his head. Nathan Drake guns down bajillions of people in every game.
Right.
And then he's like smart and solves a puzzle and is like, oh, Sully, check it out. I just discovered 1 million diamonds or something. It's like, whatever. Right. But yeah, no, the game series is amazing. I would say play them in order as well, only because you'll get that kind of evolution of the series on like gameplay mechanics and graphics and sound and everything like that.
Right.
And then you'll get to 4, and 4 is just one of the best games on the PlayStation 4 as it is.
Yeah.
The series is awesome. I want everybody to experience it.
Yeah. Definitely a game that I've always wanted to experience. I saw Sour play this game.
Sour Not Hardcore,
yeah, on his PS. I think it was on his PS5, but the third one, and I thought it looked amazing. I was like, dang, dude, even for its age, it still looks great. Yeah,
you can tell they fine-tuned these games, which is, I say, like, play them in order, because if you have a PS4 or PS5, you can play them all right now, but like, say a buddy of mine started on 4, and which, think like Indiana Jones movies, they don't follow a direct storyline to each other, but they have recurring characters, and like those relationships kind of grow over time.
Right.
4 is, like I said, it's just one of the best games. It's such a good game. But I was like, dude, you started at the peak. Like, now you're going to go back and play 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to be like, these games aren't that good. But if you work your way up, then you'll see how these games like evolved over time.
You start to appreciate the quality that they started to throw at this game.
Yeah. And he was like, well, I mean, I heard 4 was good. And I'm like, no, 4 is amazing, but like, don't start at that.
Well, especially because now you're getting them on PC, right? We don't even know like what you're going to be getting. If you're going to get HD remastered versions of Uncharted, or if you're going to get like the 1-for-1 copy that PS3 had at the very beginning. You don't know if you're just even going to get high quality textures at this point. What you probably will get is resolution and frame rate bumps, but that's the bare minimum that you can actually ask for.
But again, this is all rumor control.
Right.
This Sony has not announced this.
Yeah.
Like,
for those of you who have been waiting for exclusive games, which is kind of weird to say, for Sony to release exclusive games on their consoles to other platforms like PC is unheard of. Yeah. And finally they're doing it. So well, I think it's definitely a benefit for them, because now they're starting to see, like, even Nintendo's doing like a couple of cross-platform games here and there, and it's working out for them. So it'd be dumb to just silo yourself onto one single ecosystem.
I know we've talked about this in the past, but I think Sony is maybe waking up to the fact that they can get more money if they do this. Like,
money
knowing how the Game Pass does and everything.
Yeah, like maybe nobody's buying Uncharted anymore because they've already played it.
This was the scene right here. This was the scene that blew us away back then.
Oh yeah.
Now put yourself in early 2000s, right? This was the scene that
this was like 2007 or 2008, something like that. Yeah.
The level of graphics were like, okay, I can see how this is cool. This looks great, right? Because it was open world and everything. So the moment that he walks into this pond, and just the subtle details of his pants being wet only to the point of the water line blew us away. So to compare, and my brain just kind of thought of like a comparison to this. You're playing Grand Theft Auto 4, which is a great game. It's also on the PS3. Nico Bellic jumps into the water and then he gets back out. His clothes basically look the exact same, but now there's like a dripping animation. Right. As if his entire body was covered.
Yeah. Where this, it's like Drake only gets as wet as he steps into the water.
Yeah. And if you don't notice, like him climbing through here, like these were the first iterations aside from Crisis, where the terrain actually made the walking animation look different. If you were going on an incline or a decline or anything like that, he would walk differently, so the joints on his legs would form differently. And I mean, I thought that was amazing. Now, granted, these are the technical things that we get excited about on video games, so obviously it doesn't make or break a game. It helps if you do it right, like Crisis and Drake and Uncharted, but sometimes it's just a game that doesn't have very good gameplay. But this was not one of them. They tossed tech and story on top of it, and I still yet to play a majority of these games, and I'm dying to see them on PC. I don't know, chat, if you're dying to see them.
Yeah. Awesome gameplay, good stories, great characters. Like, I will still say, like, Drake's best friend Sully, who's in all these, like, he's the character that Marky Mark's going to be playing in the movie. I think Sully's like the best character in all the games.
Oh, is that inked already? Like, they signed that already?
Oh, the movie's done. It's filmed.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's Marky Mark, huh?
Yeah, it's Spider-Man and Marky Mark.
So, can I put in my 2 cents on that choice?
Yep, go nuts.
So, Marky Mark is the same character no matter where he goes except for Ted, right? He's a completely different person than Ted, but he's still close. It's still Marky Mark. It's like he just plays himself, right? But I would have chose a more charismatic character than Marky Mark. I would have chosen dude from Firefly, main character. What's his name?
Nathan
Fillion. Yeah. I would have chose that dude as him.
So I think the world agrees with you. Now, Nathan Fillion, nothing against the guy. He's brilliant. Love Firefly, all that stuff. He's older now, right? Like, if they would have got him to do that like 20 years ago, it would have been perfect. But he's aging now, so Nathan Drake is not quite that old. But I will say there was a YouTube, or there was a short movie that was filmed 5 years ago, with Nathan Fillion playing Nathan Drake, and it's on YouTube. Yeah, It's on YouTube, and it's like 10 minutes long or something like that. But when that came out, it was like, yes, please, put this in a movie right now. Film it, put it out, release it, everybody. And then it was
Tony, look up.
And it was like, good news! Tom Holland is playing Nathan Drake in the next movie. And everybody's like, I mean, that's cool. We like Tom Holland, but you had it. Nathan Drake, right there. Nathan Fillion, you had it.
How is Tom Holland related to this movie?
He is Nathan Drake.
I thought you said it was Marky Mark.
No, Marky Mark is playing Sully.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, and I had to explain this to a bunch of people who have not played the games. The age difference in real life between Tom Holland and Marky Mark is right around where it is between Nathan Drake and Sully.
Sure.
It is. Like, they're like 20-something years apart from each other.
That makes sense.
So that makes sense. It's just, you'd have to age both of them maybe 5 to 6 years to be where they are in the games.
Well,
so this is a younger Nathan Drake and a younger Sully.
So I think Tom Holland
But that age gap is about the same.
Yeah. I think Tom Holland has two things going against him. One, the success of Spider-Man always being tied to him, so people will probably see Spider-Man whenever they see Nathan Drake. And two, the guy looks like a boy in every film that he does, even if he tries to do like older or mature content. It's just like, I feel weird looking at you, bro, and you throwing off F-bombs and shit. Like, it's not the Spider-Man thing. It's just also the boyish look feel. Which I know he's older. I know he's like mid-20s something. But it's like, damn, dude, these kids are looking really... These 20-something-year-olds are looking like they're 15 all of a sudden. And I don't know if that's just me. But what do you think, Mel?
I can maybe I don't know, Clay, about what if they've released like what the story's going to be about. I can see it maybe like them of him starting out like he's doing something and meets Sully, correct?
Oh, so you mean like an origin story for Nathan Drake? Yeah, that makes sense if it was his younger self.
I just put it in Mod Chat if you want to throw a link in there.
What's that?
The Nathan Fillion
movie. Yeah, we'll check it out. If anybody wants to see that Nathan Fillion, it's in our Discord. Check it out. I'm gonna put it.
I put it in Mod Chat. So yeah.
Oh man, that looks amazing just from the thumbnail.
It's so cool. It was so cool. I was like, God, why isn't this real? Why isn't this a thing? It was like 3 years ago. Yeah, so it wasn't even 8 years ago. Yeah.
Looks so good. All right, so let's move on with our second rumor control and our last rumor control article here. I believe this one is the Game Boy games are coming to Nintendo Switch. Egasp!
This is cool. Okay,
dude, I totally get it's cool, but it's more recycled. Oh, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Look. I want you to step outside the box of I'm a PC gamer. I can emulate anything at the snap of my fingers.
No, that's not where I'm going, but I'll let you finish.
But I'm just saying, can I finish? Okay, I'm finished. No, so like, Nintendo Switch Online is a thing. You subscribe to it. It's $20 a year. You get your online gaming, so you can play, Splatoon and all that stuff. But you also get NES Online and Super NES Online, which is a collection of games that Nintendo occasionally updates and comes out with more. Sometimes they're winners, sometimes they're not. But people are kind of like, us Nintendo fans out there are like, when are you going to do more with this? Like, when are you going to give us Game Boy or N64 or, something? Like, something that's more than what we currently have. Yeah. This is cool because as an old guy who loves Game Boy games, like, this makes it so I don't have to break out a laptop with an emulator with a USB controller and play stuff.
Sure.
Or go game hunting, which used game prices are skyrocketing right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I just want to go back and play Super Mario Land, and it's like, oh, hold on, do I have it? Let me go dig through my 47 storage bins and be like, cool,
I have my Donkey Kong 64 back because I missed that game.
That's what I'm saying. It's like anytime Nintendo actually wants to push this Switch Online thing forward, I'm all for it. That's why I included this, because Game Boy games are awesome. I know. Actually, I don't know anybody who doesn't like Game Boy games. Like
I like Game Boy games.
Like,
There's nothing
even if
wrong.
it's Tetris. Yeah.
My problem is not the games themselves. It's the ecosystem that is going to continue to happen so long as we continue to buy them. So let's just say, okay, right now it's Switch, right? We buy into the ecosystem. You buy the games again for something that you already own. It would be better behind a paywall where it's more like a subscription, kind of like Xbox Game Pass, where you have access to these classic games and you're able to play them on your Nintendo Switch, whatever. But then it seems to follow the trend of, hey, if it's not Switch now, it's some other hardware revision that we're going to have you buy into yet another ecosystem in the future. Xbox Game Pass is at least being a little bit future-proof by introducing both Xbox and PC to the Game Pass, so that way it doesn't matter if they upgrade the Xbox. The PC is still going to be PC, so you won't have to use a different application when you get the Xbox Z or something later on in life, right? But with Nintendo, it's almost like, hey, every new console is going to have a new ecosystem. Every new Game Boy or every new Nintendo GameCube has a different ecosystem. So you're going to have to buy the adapter for those games if you want the cartridges to work on that system. And then the next revision that we have, the Nintendo Wii, is a completely different purchase, which justifies it for us to make more money off of the same thing that you already have and just make it compatible with the devices that you already own. It's like, dude, we can't keep buying all these things and keep buying copies of the same game, because then we're just clay. You know what I mean? Because then we're just dude who just buys them because I want the convenience of having it on a device that I have in my hand at the moment in time.
Yep.
So think about it like this. So, and I agree with everything you've said so far, because take, for instance, Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers was released on the NES, and then the Lost Levels thing was on the Super Nintendo. And then, like, when the Game Boy Advance came out, they released Super Mario Brothers again on a Game Boy Advance.
Right, yeah.
And then you can buy it on the Wii Virtual Console. And then now, they're not selling you Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo Switch. They're selling you Nintendo Switch Online, their version of, like, Xbox Live or PlayStation Network.
Sure, yeah.
That comes with a collection of NES and Super Nintendo
Sure,
games.
that's perfect.
So, which, it's kind of like their version of a Game Pass. It's just for old games.
Right.
Now, we don't know what the future holds. If, say, Switch 2 or whatever, the Super Switch,
future
knowing
console.
Nintendo, like, future console here, let's just, I'm just going to call it Super Switch 64, because why not? Nintendo.
Why not?
The Super Switch 64 boy. There you go. So when that happens,
I'm just picturing this plastic mess that is just like screaming out, "Kill me!"
When Super Virtual Boy Switch 64 3DS comes out, when that comes out,
here we go.
Is it going to be the same thing where they go, "Oh yeah, because you're a subscriber to Super Switch Virtual 3DS Boy, because you're a subscriber to that, here's all of those NES, Super NES, Game Boy, N64 games that you already subscribe to."
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Multipass.
Lilu.
Yes.
The one time I wish it was with Grape, because he actually had that.
But yeah, I just wish, I mean, like, we won't know until the next console comes out. But currently, this works like a Game Pass type system where you're just paying for a subscription to get these games. Multipass.
So yeah, I think every console should have its paywall ecosystem to where they just give you access to classic games that you already own.
I've been saying this for years. Nintendo, Sega had an idea a few years ago. It was called Sega Forever, where it was like their way of you playing older games on newer stuff. So like you could buy Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and play it on your smartphone. And because you're a Sega Forever, because you bought it through Sega Forever, it'll work permanently on whatever thing you have. And it's like, But they kind of messed up, and they made it so it was its own purchase, not like, or its own app, not a Sega Forever app that had like a catalog.
Right.
I've been saying this for years. Nintendo should just come out with like NES or Nintendo Online or Nintendo Collection as a subscription service, and it'll work on anything you have.
Right.
Like,
so
any Nintendo hardware you own, those games come with you.
Right.
And at that point, all they have to do is future-proof it, which they have their own emulator for their own hardware.
Right.
They can just put that on any new system.
And that emulator is finely tuned to work flawlessly, a one-for-one emulation of the games. But
yeah,
can I give you a prediction here?
Shoot.
This is literally the exact same game or the same game plan that MP3s were taken out by streaming services.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because instead of emulating all your games, because they know that that's not a selling factor to say, hey, you can be, or it's not that it's not a selling factor. It's going to attract less people if you know that emulating is still running rampant out there. But recently, if you haven't noticed, a lot of ROMs and emulators are starting to get taken down. A lot. Even the Switch emulators are starting to get a little bit of flack from the long arm of the law of Nintendo, where they're starting to take down a lot of these things. So it's now even harder for you to emulate unless you already have the files, and it's more illegal for you to share those files to anyone else to continue to grow the emulating community. So now it entices you to be like, well, I really don't want to handle any of the illegal aspects of emulating, and I don't want to curate my collection every single time I do, right? So now what's convenient? You know what's convenient? I'm going to get a Switch and I'm going to go on and get a subscription. What is Spotify again? Spotify is a subscription that lets you listen to MP3s that are owned by the artist, and they get a cut for it, which for Nintendo, they're the only artist. So all the money goes right back into funneling for them. So this is exactly the same thing that happened with Kazaa, with a whole bunch of other, what was it, LimeWire back then? It was BearShare, Napster. All of these things got taken down because now they took control of the rights of everything. They took away the ability for you. They made it illegal for you to do this kind of thing. Now it's coming to emulation and ecosystems that are owned by those companies. So it makes sense.
Zero has it right here. They should beat the hackers by allowing the Switch to emulate old games with the NES Pass. And it's like, it's just work for Nintendo at this point. They just have to get all of these games into the service.
Yeah, but they're doing...
And be like, look, if you want the NES had like 987 games or something like that. So it's like, all they have to do is be like, look, the NES Pass, you subscribe to it for $5 a month or something like that, and you now have 500 games. Anything you want to play. Now, maybe the rest of those 400 something games, they can't get the rights to because Konami owns them or Capcom owns them or something like that. But yeah, they could. There's probably hundreds of NES games that have no rights holders because they're just dead companies now.
And here's my last mind-blowing comment on this one. This is what told you that Sega Channel was way ahead of its time.
God, I love Sega Channel.
Yeah.
Sega Channel did it
was
the best way that was possible with the technology back then. You had a cartridge with a coax connection, and you can play whatever game that they want that you subscribe to. I think it was like $30 a month or something on top of whatever it was when it was here in Las Vegas, but it was way ahead of its time. They just didn't market that properly, I think. And there just wasn't enough kids out there with $30 in their pocket a month to be able to, or entice their parents to be like, hey, this is justifiable, okay? Come on.
Yeah.
In the future, I'm going to be paying $14 a month, so you might as well get with the program now. Somehow this makes sense. I'll get all straight A's for $30 a month, huh?
Let this be my allowance. Let me play my games. Let
Dude,
that
how
be my
awesome
allowance.
would that be if I was like, look, I got A's and B's, I get another month of Sega Channel. Deal?
Yeah.
Fine.
But at the end of the day, if Game Boy games are coming to the Switch Online, I'm down.
Yeah.
Bring on the Game Boy games. I will play them. Let's do
Wondering
this.
Raven says, I still have the client somewhere. I assume the cartridge that you're talking about.
Yeah, the cart, like that big fat cartridge.
If you
with the
have
coax
it, take a picture of it and post it on the Discord, because that thing is classic. Like,
I saw one. This is like in 2012 or something like that. I was at the Classic Gaming Expo, and I saw one for sale, and they wanted like $200 for it, and I'm like, it's awesome.
What?
And and it's like, I was like, it's awesome, and I totally appreciate the Sega channel for what it was, but it doesn't work anymore.
wait, Clay,
So,
hold on. I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. You don't have a Sega channel?
No, my cable company made me give it back.
Was that a speculation of the subscription that you have to give it back?
It was like, well, because like when it got canceled, so like I had it the entire time it was alive, but it got canceled. Like Sega turned it off, and my cable company said I had to return it. And I was like, that sucks. Yeah. So yes, I do not have the actual cartridge, and for people who were like, oh yeah, I'll sell it to you. I was like, yeah, I'll give you $20 for it.
It's not $200.
And they're like, no, man, this is Sega channel. This thing's historic. And I'm like, I love the Sega channel, but it doesn't work anymore. Yeah. Why would I give you $200?
I am not denying that the Sega channel is not amazing.
Yeah.
But it's not, for me personally. I can't justify $200 for a cartridge that's never going to work again.
Yeah.
I'm looking on eBay right now. People are selling them like close to $100. There's one for a big fat one for $185.
Yeah. See, it's like, no way. Dark Zero says the Game Gear was a classic too. The Game Gear was cool too. It's just those, like, I have a Game Gear, and yeah, those things break a lot. So you really have to invest in like repairing those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well,
it's time to get on to the actual game news. We have 5 articles. I mean, we've been giving you the game news, but it's our game news. So we do what we want. Me. All right. So let's talk about our overseas brethren's gamers over there. And
this one, this is brutal.
This one kind of hurts, but then I put myself in the perspective of like, I live in the United States. I'm a little privileged. I don't have a communism state like that, so I'm not gonna complain.
If you remember, a few weeks ago we talked about this, where there was an idea that Tencent is backing, where gamers, basically, it's like you register with this system, like or whatever game you're playing. If it's like there's a lot of free-to-play games in China, right? So whatever their version of League of Legends or Counter-Strike or whatever it is, it's like Tencent has a system that you basically register with, and it's like a facial recognition thing, and it shows like, hey, I'm going to play this game, and then it reads you on like a webcam and then says, oh, you're underage, so you can't play this because it's too late and you need to go to sleep.
Right.
That was like the thought, and then China took it like 1,400 steps past that. Basically the new rules that are happening in China is no longer allowing minors, so that's anybody under the age of 18, to play games. No gaming at all during the week. So
Monday through Friday?
Monday through Thursday.
Oh.
You are blacked out of video games. You're not allowed to play video games.
Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Before you finish, wasn't it like about 2 weeks ago that we talked about how they were going to limit them hours? And it didn't matter what day of the week it was?
It was during like nighttime hours back then.
Oh. Okay.
So like back then it was like after like 11 p.m. or something like that. Now, no gaming at all, Monday through Thursday.
I wonder what the big switch was for.
Probably the school systems.
They're trying to crack down on video game addiction and stuff like that. But weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you are allowed I think it's an hour a night. So, and it's basically 8 to 9 p.m. Under 18, you're allowed to game 1 hour Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night between 8 and 9 p.m. And kid gamers also, similar to that Tencent thing, they need to register with an anti-addiction program. So they know, so they can track their gaming and make sure that they're not getting too into it.
So I'm highly
that's insanity.
Yeah. I'm highly interested in this.
Yeah.
In just trying to find out where their decisions were backed up from what data, right? Because I control. I should better say my wife controls. I developed it so that way she can control it, so that way the kids get shut down whenever they've either had too much time on their computer or phone or whatever, or games, or it's bedtime, or they've reached the limit and now they have to do chores to gain more time to be able to get on their devices, right? A system that it's just trial. I'm not saying it works or doesn't work for other families. I'm just saying that that's how we do it here at our house. But it's interesting because it's like I don't have enough data to say yes, this would work for a majority of people. But I'm very interested to see how China figured this out and said this is going to work, especially when China is known to have battles of obtaining or allowing consoles to reach their country.
Which they're now allowing. That got lifted a couple of years ago. But China is also you hear the reports of people who die in gaming cafes because they don't eat.
And that makes sense. That makes sense for addictions.
Yeah.
I totally get how people get into internet cafes, play this game for 48 hours, and then stand up, and then their blood is so coagulated into their legs that they automatically get a heart attack. And it's just dude, that's a problem. You need the 12 steps. You need to disconnect. World of Warcraft was starting to become like that for me. I don't know about you or Mel, if you feel like some of that is a problem, but it's even a problem now with remote work that I'm on this chair more than 8 hours a day, right? So it's just I can see that there's a positive effect to a negative outcome for gamers, but is it going to be worth it enough, and are you going to receive the returns for your country the way that you envisioned? Or are you just going to have a bunch of little Chinese gamers later on who turn 20, 30, who are just going to rebel and be like, screw you, I'm going to be playing all night because I'm over 18. And then now you have this situation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's kind of like the situation where they had where it's you only get one child per couple, and then later on come to find out, well, the one child per couple kind of exploded with females and now, or exploded with males, and now you have you don't have enough females for the male population. So you gotta it's a balance here, it's like the rules of alchemy. You take something has to be given away, and that's what happens. There's a balance. By the way, that's a reference.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes.
Oh, what? Wait.
Yeah. Dark says, you were addicted to WoW. Yes.
So was I.
I was.
There are things now. You can actually have standing desks, so you don't have to be always sitting in a chair. So
big fan of a standing desk.
Yeah.
Big
Do you have those at work?
Yeah, ours are adjustable.
Oh.
So
where do I
or
apply?
stand. At the website for the company I work at.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Raven says it's been over a year since she's played WoW. It's been I think it's over 20 years now since I played WoW. Or wait, whenever Burning Crusade came out, it was that year.
Yeah.
That's the last time I played WoW. That's when I quit WoW was when Burning Crusade came out. So it was that.
I quit playing WoW, I think, just before Shadowlands came out.
Maybe 15 years, something like that. Yeah.
That was the third.
That's the new.
Shadowlands is
the new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the current one. But
Right.
but Mel, if you're on Final Fantasy now, that's from what I understand, even WoW players are like, this game kind of sucks right now.
Yeah.
It's like
A lot of them are leaving.
This Shadowlands expansion, it's like nobody's happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to have my 12-hour beauty sleep, but I always got 4. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, you're welcome.
Nice.
There's always
I need you to get this item for the raid, quick.
There's always a positive to having me as a roommate. Hey, you wanted to be active. 4 hours of sleep is pretty active.
There you
All
go.
right, let's go on with the next one. We already talked about China. Now let's talk about South Korea. South Korea will be first country to curb Google Apple App Store payments. So the one thing the main thing that they're fighting for in the States about how Apple likes to charge 30% or something like that for, and then have to go
33% or something like that. Yeah, it's like this is okay. We don't have an outcome on the Apple Epic lawsuit or anything like that, right?
Right.
But this is an interesting story, I think. Here, this isn't into law yet. This is a bill that was passed. So this is like, this is how a bill becomes a law, it's, like that old cartoon. But like a bill was passed, basically it was put forward to say like, but you could say this ties directly into that whole Fortnite thing, right? Like Apple says you have to use us to pay for everything so we get our cut. And Epic said we should be allowed to have our own storefront. Korea is now saying, yeah, we agree with Epic. Like Apple and Google have to, or if this bill is passed, they cannot be the monopoly on transactions for their software.
Yeah.
So like everything, like you have to allow a third-party payment system if it's passed, which we don't know is going to happen. But if that does pass, somebody, whoever's doing the Epic, law team on that lawsuit here in America is going to jump on that and just be like, yo, Korea just passed a law that says we're right.
Yeah.
So what do we think about that?
Yeah. So South Korea can be the point where Apple and Google either make it or break it for their own plans, or we win and we're like, well, I shouldn't say win because it just depends on who's the third party, right? Like PayPal or whatever, and they decide to be integrated. But yeah, it'll matter when it starts hitting all the other countries that are major players for a lot of these purchases. So we'll wait and see. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. Like it isn't in law yet, but when it is, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen with this.
Yeah, people need to understand that these choices that are being made behind courtrooms can have a huge impact on how our digital life is later on. Yeah. So it's going to be crazy. All right, let's go on.
This is something to watch.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one because we got some Rockstar news that I know every one of you have been waiting for, especially when I say
this isn't Rockstar. This is Smash.
Is it Smash? Because I got it as Rockstar Parent Take-Two. Sue's modder behind GTA Reverse Engineering Project.
That's not the right link, buddy.
No, dentist.
That's not the right link there, Pacha.
Can we go with this one for right now? Or
yes. Okay, Rockstar.
Thank you.
Fine.
Okay. It's not in order, but okay, Joe, whatever you say. All right. All right. So I know, right? He can't read. So this one, basically, there's a modding team out there. And I wanted to bring this up not just because it's GTA related, but like I'm curious about people's opinions on this because I'm definitely a strong opinion on this one. But there's a modding community out there that has reverse engineered basically the engine behind Rockstar's GTA 3 and Vice City, which back then it was built in a physics engine called Warioware, but they have reverse engineered the game to fix a lot of bugs, make it run better, and it's more easily modded now. As predicted, Take-Two Interactive stepped in and instantly cease and desisted the whole thing. It is the code for this is actually still available. It's on GitHub. So if you did want to play around with it, you still can. But it was cease and desisted. This is adding more fuel to the fire that the re-releases are about to come out, like the 3 Vice City San Andreas. Like they're stopping it so they can release their versions of the upgrades, not necessarily this one. But with that, I hate to be against the modding community on this and for the company or I hate to be pro the man and all that stuff.
By the way, before he says this, Clay's Twitter handle is on the bottom of his screen there.
Yes, it is. It's right there. Please yell at me and tell me how I'm anti-gamer and all that stuff. But
all these years,
this is like this is a copyrighted, trademarked thing, right? Like there are laws protecting the company and their products and their IPs and their code and everything like that. It's like, did you think this was going to work for you? You know, like, whoever was doing this, it's like, was this a shock when that cease and desist came in? Like, I can't believe Take-Two Interactive did that. All I'm doing is ripping their game apart and re-releasing it so everybody can mess with it. You know, like, did you not see this coming, like, years ago when you first started on this?
We're always going to get into this debate when it comes to the legal ramifications of something that you already knew was going to be possibly taken down once you got to a certain level of success, and just doing it for funds, right? So I get it. I think a lot of people who spend this amount of dedicated time are both really interested and passionate about the content, which here it was GTA 3, but I also believe it's a calling card to be able to say, I can do this. Because unrelated to this article, CD Projekt Red actually employs modders.
I saw that last week, yeah.
So you have two different companies who, one will be like, no. It's almost like hackers getting caught by the government. It's like, hey, you did something wrong. We're going to stick you in jail for 15 years. Oh, you don't like that? Well, how about working for us then?
They had kind of done that before in a small way.
Why do you think a lot of these things get taken down when I feel like it's a resume? Like it's just you saying I have the capability of recreating what you had and making it better. Here's my email and phone number. Make sure you call me.
Again, do we not want to remember the modder who basically fixed the loading issue for GTA 5?
For reals? What the hell? And then all of a sudden they were like, oh, at one point it's like, it's not due to that. It's not due to that. It's something completely different, unrelated. And then later on it's like, by the way, it was that. But we have the fix here. we just weren't ready. What really happened was we didn't really look into it. Yeah. Like come on. How proud do you have to be as a company, as whatever CEO head is out there to say, no. Discredit that person, even though it's absolutely right.
Yeah. He's absolutely right.
What Umber said, we weren't ready to say 10, 15 minutes of load time.
Yeah.
It wasn't that we couldn't admit it to all of our fans. It was that we weren't ready with a fix. That's what it was.
I get that. And I've seen videos of these newer versions of GTA 3 and Vice City being played. Like there's YouTube videos of people just playing them and showing you the differences and stuff like that. I think it's really cool, but it's like for anybody out there who's mad that like Take-Two came in and did this, it's like, are you surprised?
Yeah. There's a terms of service for everything that you play. You just don't read it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I will also say this. Okay, mostly Rockstar doesn't exactly hate modders because they allowed the GTA 5 RP whole community. That's a big thing. They're not stopping them from doing that.
Yeah, you're not stopping them.
Rockstar has never had a problem with modders.
No, they love them.
Until one of them found the hot coffee mod.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's the only time because I got
that was the only time Rockstar ever had a problem with modders.
I'm not familiar.
Were like, GTA San Andreas hot coffee?
Nope.
No? Okay. Yeah. So anyway, it was like
show.
But yeah, it's
no, I'm serious. I don't know where you're
Oh, really?
You seriously don't?
You don't remember that from like 2006? I think it was 2005, 2006.
Hot coffee.
Hot coffee.
No.
A certain thing that should never be seen
I don't know,
in the video game.
You fill me in. Do you all know about this hot coffee thing? Because I don't. Apparently I'm singled out right now.
All right, Clay, go ahead.
I'll give you I'll try to shorten this as much as possible because I know we still have like 2 more stories to go through.
Yeah.
Back when San Andreas first released, this is back in 2004, right? So there in the game, CJ has girlfriends and you can date them, and then when you reach like the pinnacle of your relationship, like, here's the code I put into my Game Shark, and here's what it shows. And they were like, oh no, the modders built that and put that into the game. It's not us. And they're like, it's a PlayStation 2 game. And they're like, oh no, it's totally no. I don't know what you're talking about.
So somebody got fired is basically it.
It was made public. Basically, Rockstar hid the code in the game because they realized, hey, the ESRB is not going to pass this, right? Like this is going to be branded like adults only, which means it can't be sold in stores. We're going to lose a ton of money. Just kill the game, like kill that little sex mini game. Well, instead of burying it or like removing that code, they just locked it away so you couldn't play it. So on a normal PlayStation 2 game, you can't play it. It's like, it is not accessible in the game. But if you're using a Game Shark, you can kind of unlock the door to it.
You're basically passing the right binaries to be able to access that.
Yeah.
That mode.
So when it was discovered that PlayStation 2 copies of this game had it, it was branded adults only. The game was recalled. It was ripped off of shelves, and it was re-edited to remove that code. Rockstar got sued. They lost a ton of money, but it was like, so and that is what is known as the hot coffee.
I just okay.
Yeah.
So now I get it, but I just find it really weird that they would lose when you literally have to get a developer device to unlock it
because it was still there.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
like I
never
said,
removed the code.
Rockstar doesn't. But Rockstar loves the modding community. Rockstar loves modders. They really like legitimately do. I fully believe this.
Yeah.
But except for when they find hot coffee.
Yeah. And then that was back in the day. Nowadays we get tits and ass and incest in Game of Thrones. So
Dude, if you look at if you look at what GTA 5, like you go to the strip club, you pick up a hooker, you do all that stuff. By the way, if you just YouTube, you can see that the hot coffee footage. It is hilarious. It is it is
Put it
really
on the Discord.
It is really poorly done, and it's funny. It's like it's like back in the 90s when they said Night Trap is the most vulgar, violent video game of all time.
And we're just
you
like,
watch it now, and it's funny.
Yeah, is this a Lifetime movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
God.
like it's that kind of thing where you see it now and you're like, people actually thought this was bad.
Yeah,
like this is hilarious.
Yeah. One of my favorite times that I saw like sexual things happening was in a game rated E for everyone, and it was The Sims, where they do whoopee, right? So my wife plays The Sims, constantly, right? It's her game of choice on the PC.
Full disclosure: The Sims and The Sims 2 were great games.
Yeah, they're great games.
Okay, great games.
She's currently playing Sims 4, which is okay. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely one of those like DLC traps where you're just like, oh, I gotta get every freaking thing out there, right?
I bought so many DLC packs on 2. It was crazy.
By the way, if anyone in the
many
chat,
discs.
if anybody in the chats wants some homework, go figure out how much it would cost to have every expansion pack for Sims 4.
Oh God!
I'm going to go on and say $482,000.
Is that? I'll do 481.
And you have to remember, this is on Origin, on EA's site. So this is going to be expensive.
Yeah. So that was the first time that I actually witnessed sexual things on an E for everyone scenario. And that was around the time about the GTA boom. Mm-hmm. So it's like, pick and choose your battles there, government. Like you want to sue them for that, but yet you're not checking out the fact that I can pretty much have whoopee with anyone I want so long as I spend enough drinks. Like you're just teaching me how to roofie someone, basically. It's like, oh, this
Boombrow says $689.66. BT Dubs, if anybody does want to see more about the hot coffee controversy, there was actually a movie made about it a few years ago.
Ooh.
I
like
remember seeing a
docuseries?
documentary about that
It's
over 10 years ago.
It's not a documentary. It's actually a filmed movie. It's called The Game Chasers, I believe. It has Daniel Radcliffe in it.
Shit!
And Bill Paxton, actually. Back then, back in the late 2000s, there was like back with all of the if anybody remembers, there was this crackpot lawyer guy named Jack Thompson who was constantly going after violent video games.
Oh yeah, that
He
asshole.
kept on showing up on TV.
Yeah, the movie is all about him versus Rockstar Games. And Daniel Radcliffe, like Harry Potter, plays Sam Hauser, who's like the president of Rockstar. And it's all about
they chose him.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all about the whole like Rockstar versus Jack Thompson battle. It takes place like right after Vice City came out, when like the series got really popular. Then how they got the ideas to create San Andreas, and then the hot copy controversy and everything like that. It's actually a really fun movie to watch. It's like an hour and a half long. Yeah, you can watch it.
Check it out. I'm gonna be looking for it on Discord if you can, because I don't keep track of all these things, but he does.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the one that I kind of took it out of the
you went ahead.
the queue here. Fine, but I think this is really awesome because I wish I had a dentist that was like this.
I saw this and I was like, that is really freaking cool, because this guy just got his name out across like video gamers everywhere now. Zen Family Dentistry. This dentist guy put on his company's Twitter page that basically, if you can beat him at Smash, you get a free teeth cleaning.
Bro.
If you lose, you have to tell everybody that you lost to this guy.
Bro.
And I was like, man.
Dude, I would do that.
I don't even play Smash. And I'm going to be like, where is this? Like, Florida? I'm moving. Let's go.
I'm getting free teeth cleanings for a week.
That's it. Like, but I was like, just the simple fact that this guy put that out there, I was like, good on this dude, man.
Do you
like,
even up Smash, bro?
Yeah, I was like, this is so cool. But yeah, apparently he holds Smash tournaments in which the article that I saw this from, it was like Destructoid or something like that. It was the guy talks about how he holds Smash tournaments for all of his patients and everything like that, and everything is like he has multiple TVs and everything is like socially distanced and everything like that, and everything's safe. But I was like, the simple fact that this guy just called out everybody and is like, yo, teeth cleanings, I don't know if you guys go to the dentist often, unless you have awesome insurance. Yeah, dentists are expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, they are.
So he is throwing away a lot of
right.
money. He is banking on a lot of money right now.
I want to know how many's actually beaten him.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. What if he's a sleeper, right? Like he's one of those like ringer guys. Pro. Yeah, like hey, I don't go to Evo to play Smash because
he's like
always working.
He's like he has his like little stash of like GameCube controllers and he's like holding them upside down and he's like, I don't even know what to do.
Oh,
and then he just decimates everybody.
Yeah.
He just like random selects and just decimates everyone.
Yeah, dude. Like, this is awesome. But it also goes to show you, like, the generation is changing now, right? Like, this isn't one of those, like, campy, like, hey, get your kid over here and we'll have, like, the safest
free balloons.
Dude. And you get a lollipop after. It's like, no, dude, you want to come down and get a free teeth cleaning and I'll make it free as long as you beat me at Smash.
Yeah.
Like, the generation is different now.
Yeah.
And for all the boomers, they're all like, back in my day, like, your back in your day was boring, Grandpa.
I will say this, true story, not lying. Early or mid '80s, something like that. When I used to go to the dentist, my dentist office had an Atari 2600 and like 30 games. And so when I'm waiting for my turn, I would just park in front of this TV and play Atari games.
Yeah.
And mom or dad's reading a magazine or something.
My mom and dad, they're behind reading People magazine or something like that, and I'm just parked.
Yeah. That's how it was in
NES. Shutting you up.
And then go sit. And then I'm not whining. I'm not saying I'm bored. I'm not sitting there going like, is it time yet? We've been here for 4 hours. It doesn't matter. I'm just in the zone.
Yeah. I think one of the fondest memories for me was just like that with my like 10 or 15 inch tube TV that didn't even have like a coax connection. It was one of those RF bunny ears connections that I had to get an adapter for. And that was like long hours of just playing whatever. But the other great memory is like always going to McDonald's and finding the N64 consoles there, and I'm like, shit, I'm about to have some chicken nuggets with some fries and N64.
I've seen pictures of those online. I've never actually been to the McDonald's that has the N64. But yeah, you sit there, there's the Playland, and then you got like Mario 64 right there.
The only one that I remember was here in Las Vegas was on Charleston, and I want to say Jones. There was a McDonald's over there that has N64. I don't know if they still do. They probably don't.
They could probably get rid of that.
They probably got rid of it. Like, either that or some butthole always broke the controllers. Like the stick is like not even standing up straight anymore.
Zero just took this story a little too far. This is the kid's dental office, man. Okay, like he's talking about going full Punko, just rip the shirt off and be like, "Let's go, bros!"
Yeah. And then like all the kids are like, USA, USA. It's like we're all here. Like
it's like we're all in America.
Yeah, we're all in America.
But yeah, good on Zen Family Dentistry. Like this is awesome.
Yeah.
I hope your business goes like through the roof because of this.
Yeah. This is pretty cool. I like when businesses do things like this.
Yeah. And it looks like Ashland, Maryland, I guess.
Okay, Maryland.
Yeah. It definitely connects better to like their core group, right? Like it makes you look down to earth. It doesn't make you look like I'm just another businessy profile.
Massachusetts.
Right? Yeah.
Massachusetts, all right.
All right, let's go on to our last one. This one's gonna be kind of sad, but it's our last game news article, and it's bad news.
Hits hard.
It's bad news for everyone, to be honest.
Everyone.
So Toshiba is warning a major chip maker for a whole slew of different products is saying that supply is going to be pretty tight for yet another year. So this means that it's going to be harder for GPUs, for cars, for CPUs, anything that uses CPUs or microchips.
Joe, I know where you work. I know you're not on this team or anything like that, but like I'll say this. It is insanely hard right now just to get laptops and monitors.
Yes.
Like not even 3090s or a PS5 or an Xbox or anything like that. It's hard for us just to get laptops.
Yeah.
Like,
holy crap. I believe it was 2 days ago that I was helping out my aunt. What would an aunt be to my wife? What would that be to, like, aunt-in-law? No.
I would imagine an aunt-in-law.
Yeah. So anyways, my aunt was asking me like, hey, I really don't know what the situation is right now about computers and whatnot, but I need something that's going to last me for a while. And the moment that she said that, I was like, oh, I'm just going to go to Amazon and create a list and just send it off to her, right? Like, it's going to be super easy. I'm just going to find something that is like prime and also cheap, but has a pretty good processor. Bro, it was so hard to find just any laptop that was worth a damn. An i7 laptop. That's something that's going to last her for a while. It was just so hard to find. And then not only that, but she needed 2 monitors to go with it. They weren't even going to ship until like sometime later on in September. They weren't going to ship. They weren't going to ship together with the laptop because she works from home, but then she needs to take the laptop somewhere. So I was like, USB Type-C is a must. Those are hard to find. So it's just like, dude, not only that, but it came out to like $2,000.
Yeah.
And it's stupid expensive for what the all the stats are on the laptop. I'm glad I got my i7 on sale for like $250 a couple of months ago. Yeah.
He's trying to build a computer right now, so
that's good.
He's luckily finding everything.
Yeah.
If you can find it, that's great.
Yeah, this chip shortage, it sucks, and it affects everybody, right? So like, if you're still trying to get that 3090 or your Series X or your PS5 or something, it's like, good luck, man. Yeah. Like things are going to be slow.
And be ready.
According to this article, this is on Bloomberg. I know normally we don't link to Bloomberg because they put a paywall in front of stuff. Yeah. But like, according to this, they're looking another year. So September 2022. So like Like, it's not just, Sony says April, or anything. Like, it looks like this is going to be hitting us for a while now. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, Toshiba plans to invest 60 billion yen, about 545 million, in the 3 years to March 2024 to boost the output of power semiconductors.
Mhm.
So I believe this is also echoing around other chip makers around the world, is that they're bulking up and they're also building here in the States. So we're gonna be having like factories and stuff like there for chip makers here in the United States,
which would be great.
Yeah, it'll be great because at least then hopefully it'll be cheaper, because then you won't have to worry about like the logistics of transporting it across the world, right? You'll just have them here.
And more jobs for some people.
Right, more jobs. But I definitely see the workforce, like we're in a new like evolution right now, or industrial evolution, where I feel like a lot of jobs that were once manned by people are going to be automated, and now you're just going to be fixing the automation whenever it breaks down. So I feel like this is what's going to happen, is like we're going to be relying more on chips. This is just the starting phase of the industrial revolution, and you might as well study to fixing stuff that is AI and robotics at this point, because that's where you're going to make money.
I just remembered one article about Elon Musk's car company making
Tesla,
an Android or something like that.
Oh yeah, they're building a robot, because you know what Elon Musk's reasoning was? Because people are just going to start building robots anyway, and we might as well make our own.
Yeah, and then we're going to turn into Detroit Become Human if I was like that game.
I was like, I've played Detroit. This could go horrible.
Yeah, this could go terrible. Wasn't you who was telling us the warnings of AI and robotics on a podcast? Wasn't that you telling us? Yeah, but it makes money. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I think eventually this is probably going to even out, but prices are probably never going to be the same. I don't think it's ever going to come back to like cents on the dollar for like these cheapy little chips anymore. I think you're definitely looking at doubling or even tripling the price on some of these things, because it's crazy sought after, and now almost everything, even cars, run off of chips, dude. Like you have firmware updates for cars, you have people hacking into Jeeps and driving them and breaking them, making them brake in the middle of the road. Like there is just so much reliant on micro semiconductors and chips that it's just ridiculous. So you might
we need to bring back Radio Shack.
I know, right? Where is Radio Shack now? Dude, they're gone everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm curious. So, and I was talking with somebody about that the other day, just tangent here about Radio Shack, because Radio Shack got bought by Sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it did.
Sprint merged with T-Mobile. So does T-Mobile now own Radio Shack? Just out of...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can look at the wiki and see who is fell under now.
Yeah.
Are there any Radio Shacks still existent? There was one in a mall that was actually an hour away from me.
Well, so
I've been in, and it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The last Radio Shacks I saw were like, they were so Radio Shack basically closed, but then they reopened as a section of Sprint stores.
Mm-hmm.
So like you go to a Sprint store, then there's like, here's the Radio Shack corner. But then the Sprint store is closed because now they're T-Mobile stores.
Right. They got bought up.
It's, yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know. But I
so
was
that's
like,
kind of
I used
weird
to love
too.
Radio Shack.
Like, who came up with the business idea to say, like, hey, let's have a cell phone store and then your component store right next to it, which none of your cell phones will ever need because they're designed to be a Swiss Army knife of technology. But let's go ahead and put on, like, cables. For things you don't use anymore.
Yeah, and Radio Shack still does exist, but it's a website.
Right.
Okay.
Like the only
like
thing that,
like Circuit City, where it's like it's just a website now or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would ever go to Radio Shack is for audio cables and like what was it? Soldering irons. And that was about it.
I will say, like, okay, like any IT nerd at somewhere in your house, Joe, I know you have this. You just have a box of crap.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
have
a box
several
of
boxes
stuff
of crap.
that you have had for like 30 years.
Yes.
Like somewhere in that is like a serial cable for something that you have not used in 30 years.
You're absolutely
And
right.
like you just have a box of parts.
Yeah.
Mine is like about 2 feet that way in a closet, and probably 30% of that box is Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Just cables and adapters and things that I have not even looked at in decades.
So about like 6 years ago, I had a midlife crisis situation where I was just cleaning out my closet and just being like, I don't need all these cables, right?
Yeah,
I
say that all the time.
I actually forced myself to throw away all my cables that obviously were either obscure cables that only fit one device, but just for the chance of it coming across it again someday, you know what I mean? It's just like that OCD anxiety that you get. There's like, I know I'm gonna need this cable.
It's like I've got
kick myself in the butt.
I've got this gold-plated Y splitter for RCA cables.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, I might need it someday. I don't know.
Yeah.
One thing Umbrus always says, like, he has it, but if he gets rid of it, then the next time when he does need it, it's gone.
Yep.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's more predominant around like the males that do like but you always find the guys that are just like, yeah, and here's my duffel bag full of cables that are all mixed and matched. Some are some are audio, some are power, some are this. Like, I have 5 boxes that are all separated of just like old USB cables that only fit a certain cell phone, old chargers that don't even match the device. As far as like the brand of charger doesn't even match the device of that it powers. It's like made from some just like weird Chinese knockoff like power charger that is just for this thing. But it's just like I threw it away once and then I told myself, okay, this is gonna be fine. That situation that I have a nightmare for came up. And I found a device that my dad needed, and it was just, I looked at it, I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, God damn it! Yep. And I lost it. And I was like, I will make an entire shelving system in my garage to hold every cable that I've ever owned, ever. So that way this
never
situation never happens again. I am Radio Shack now.
Exactly. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. Yeah. So that's the story of why you should never throw a cable away.
Exactly.
Become a pack rat. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
It's always that one situation.
Yeah. You know those people that you see on Hoarders? Not to that point.
It's in a box. It's organized. It's in a box.
Storage.
Yeah. You're gonna have to walk sideways down the hallway to get to.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah. All right, let's get on with it. It was a great show this week. Thank you.
2 hours, man. Look at that.
Yeah. Thank you everyone who joined us for this week's episode. We appreciate all our followers. Again, if you'd like to hang out with us more, check us out on our Discord. We have a nice community turning out over there now. We have a lot of people chatting in there. We have a couple of servers that we're playing on. We're playing on 7 Days to Die, and then we also have Valheim server, and then we have a Rust server now too. So if you want to play with us, we play almost every night. But Clay's available, Mal's available. Hit us up. nerdjunkies.com/Discord. And as well, if you haven't followed already or you're watching the VOD, make sure you follow us because you have a chance to win a $25 Steam gift card or just the digital code, because we're all in this.
Who doesn't want $25 in Steam?
There you go. Apparently, Dark needed to get Rust, and it was exactly $24, but it was on sale on Green Man Gaming. Thank you, Green Man Gaming. It's amazing.
Yes.
Shout outs to Green Man Gaming.
Shout outs. All right, let's get out of here. Appreciate everyone. Mel, do you have anything to say? All right, that's enough out of you. Anyways.
No.
Yeah. We appreciate everyone. Mel, what are you going to be doing after this?
Probably maybe go to bed. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna be drinking tonight. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
Yeah. All right, Clay. What are you gonna be
Drinking
doing?
this code.
I'm gonna be playing video games all day today.
All day.
Because
so
my wife is out of town.
If you're on console, and just
my wife is out of town this weekend, so I'm gonna be playing video games literally all day.
Oh yeah, I saw you posted it on the Discord. I'm like, that means party at Clay's house.
I don't care.
That shit would have happened anyway, whether your wife's there or not.
It's like, yeah, she doesn't care. She's like, bring beer. Okay.
Yeah.
I've known you for almost over 10 years there, so you always have a party and there's always gaming going on.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like even our, fortunately, to give evidence of that, we our first stream of Mario Galaxy was no sober sober event at all. Ooh.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's get out of here. We'll see you everybody on the Discord. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Sayonara.
Bye.